What's up, my Pugnios? Andy with Andy Vlogs, sharing with you guys season 2 of DIY home improvements. Last year I did about 12 episodes of simple home improvements that you can do around the house to make your home value go up. Here is a more in-depth project that I did at the end of the year last year with the help of my dad and my brother. As the title suggests, we are going to be tiling and finishing a bathroom completely. Now, as I already mentioned, I didn't do it myself. I did hire out a plumber to finish the toilet, but everything else was done by yours truly and family members. This first episode is going to be all about the tile work. So here we go. Let's jump into this. I want to give a quick disclaimer. I'm not a professional contractor. I'm not an electrician or a stoneworker. I'm not a tile layer by trade, but just a hipster trying to do stuff by myself. So please take all my recommendations with a grain of salt, as it may not work for you, but it did for me. My approach is going to be more of a vlog rather than educational or instructive. Last episode we cleaned up the floor, we sealed it, and also we made sure and sealed up the wall because the foundation had a leak. This episode we're going to cover what I did to start the tiling process.
Jimmy here helping. So that's like 5 feet, I think.
My twin and I took a lot of time to meticulously measure out the area of this room. Good old 4th grade math came into fruition. You got 3 more, Jimmy. 4 more actually.
This one?
Because we need this wall too.
You mean
this
like
length?
that way?
Yeah, from here. In my research, I found out that a lot of people made mistakes when they laid out their tile because they didn't measure right and they didn't lay it correctly. I found out that using a chalk line with chalk and a string helps best to get a straight line, especially when you're laying it there on cement.
It looks sturdy to me.
Okay, great. Move your butt.
Nice, move it.
There's the line.
Wait, what the F?
Chalk. A few ideas here for laying out your tile. Once you've got your grid line with your chalk, you want to kind of organize your tile. Each tile is created differently, and so you want to match texture and grain and color together, just because it'll have a uniform and more flowing fill throughout your floor. So that's what I did, and I've gone ahead and sped up the process of me deciding where we're going to be putting these tiles. I decided before I started doing the mortar. This added an extra hour of work, but it gave me that sense of comfort that I knew what I was doing here. Alright, so on to the tile cutting. This was the most arduous part. I didn't buy an actual saw with the water or whatever to cut it, which is probably easier, but it saved me in the long run about $80. Using the tile chipper or tile scorer or whatever you want to call this thing, it did break more tile in the end, but it saved me money. Did it?
This guy's trying to sell you on the $60 one.
Yeah, he's like, you're not gonna be able to do it your first time. Look at that, that's like perfect. That's the first and only good cut I ever made with this machine. By the way, this is not how to operate this device. So, let me show you how we do this. It's pretty cool. They taught me how to do it on the internet. So, all right, the next part of the video is gonna be showing how I lay out the tile. So let's crank it up to 4,000% and tune into the hyperlapse music. Okay, so I think we've laid almost all of the pieces that don't need to be cut. Now the goal is to go cut a bunch of pieces. My favorite part is right here. There's like this really cool groove that fits all of them. Looks really cool. Tim has reconfirmed that this cut is going to be good. Screw it up, Tim. See, he just goes and goes and goes until it cuts and it's like perfect.
Yeah, it works.
That's a perfect cut. Alright, so here is almost the final product. Super close, trying to figure out what we're going to do on these edges. I think I did it too short, but that's alright. Right now we're going to be using a tile clipper to get right there where the flanges need to go. I'll show you how to do that. Alright, this is the first time I've ever used a tile clipper. I don't know what to do. Maybe just like clip. Whoa, that was exciting. That was way exciting.
Yeah, it looks pretty good so far.
Okay, that's not too bad. First time ever doing that crap. So Tim and I are certainly not freaking tilers. We don't know how to tile. So at this point we're trying to figure out what to do, what makes sense logically. And so I think what we're going to do right here is we're going to stack all of these in 10 rows. Because there's 10 rows here, if you count this little tiny row. And we're gonna have this tile be the bottom and then stack each one on top. Just so when we're laying them, we can lay them back where we literally place where we pick them up. So we're going to create 10 different piles so we know which row fits with which. That makes sense to me the most. Tim is suggesting also that we get a pencil and we literally pencil in all of the different lines so we know exactly where they go. So I think that's going to be the best bet. So let's do it. All right, Pugnos. Well, that's that. That's the general idea on how I laid out my tile and cut them. If you thought this was interesting or helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to see more. This is Andy with Andy Vlog signing out.